Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I welcome you to our 23rd annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Convocation. I am Emmanuel Marcelino, a junior, math and computer science major, and also the presider of the Pan-African Student Union. Today is a special day as we have many wonderful guests who are here today to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and others who helped our communities and touched the hearts of many. Today's program will explore the life of famed organizer, the civil rights leader Fannie Lou Hamer, with a performance by the Sunflower County Freedom Project.
Good afternoon. I'm Kia Burton. I'm a senior and a communication major here at Augsburg College. I'm also the outreach officer for the Pan-African Student Union. We will serve as your MCs for this historic event. In 1988, M. Anita Gay Hawthorne, along with campus ministries, held our first convocation, and we are grateful for her contribution and legacy, which still remains with us today. Her vision was to ensure that our campus and community do more than simply take a day off, She wants us to become involved and move to the point where we will realize our ability to give back to our community and do something to help with someone else. With so many here today, we are helping to fulfill both the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the legacy of M. Anita Gay Hawthorne. Thank you. I would like to introduce Senior Joffrey Gill to deliver the invocation.
Thank you, Kia and Emmanuel. If we could all just bow our heads. Holy Father, we thank you for this amazing day. We thank you for 23 years of celebrating the vision and dream of Martin Luther King here at Augsburg College. Father, we ask that you continue to plant the seeds of Martin Luther King's message in us and in our children so that the world will be transformed by your glory. We expect great things today, for you are the author and the finisher of our lives, the power and the glory forever. We love you. Amen.
Let us now welcome Cheryl Reeves. Ms. Reeves is the choir director for the City Songs, and she will sing Lift Every Voice and Sing. We'll hear from the City Songs later on in this program. Please join us singing with Ms. Charlie Reeves.
Please stand and sing verses 1 and 3 of Lift Every Voice and Sing. You'll find the lyrics in your program. Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. God of our wearies, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path, we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee, lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee, shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you both for that wonderful performance. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Barbara Farley to you to welcome you to today's event. Dr. Farley is our Vice President of Academic Affairs and the Dean of Augsburg College.
Thank you very much, Key and Emmanuel, and thank you, Cheryl. That was just beautiful. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for being here to participate in the college's annual celebration of the life of Martin Luther King, Jr. This is always a very, very special occasion on our campus. I would like to welcome you today to today's convocation on behalf of President Pribanow, who arrived yesterday in Nicaragua with a group of board members, faculty, and staff to spend the week at Augsburg Center for Global Education site in Managua. On Thursday, this group will have the great privilege to meet with Father Fernando Cardenal, who received an honorary degree from Augsburg last spring in recognition of his life's work that has been dedicated to the struggle for justice. Today, we recognize the legacy of Dr. King, who gave his life in service to this same struggle. It is a distinct honor to have City Songs and the Sunflower Freedom Troop join us today. My thanks to the Planning Committee and to many other individuals who organized today's event and made this special occasion possible for all of us. Please enjoy the celebration.
Thank you, Dean Farley. Now let us welcome City Songs. City Song is a creative, art-based individual for community youth development program for young people in 4th through 8th grades, founded in 1992 through diverse music participation and strength-based social work and education activities. City Songs help urban youth identify and reach their individual potentials and strengthen the community. Please welcome City Songs.
Thank you, City Songs. Every year, the MLK Convo Committee recognizes one student and one faculty and staff member in our community with the spirit of the MLK Award. These individuals have exemplified this spirit through their hard work and determination around social justice and human equality. We would like to take this time to recognize the award winners and ask them to stand when their name is called. For the Staff Faculty Award, Penn Lowe. He's the director of the Pan-Asian Student Services. Penn Lowe came to Augsburg in 2008 as interim director of the Pan-Asian Student Services. Now as director of the program and advisor to the Augsburg Student Association, Penn is making an impact on the Augsburg and global communities. Penn graduated from Minnesota State University, Mankato in social studies, education, and psychology. A former high school and GED teacher, he worked at the University of Minnesota's Twin Cities, Minnesota State University, Mankato, and has served on the board of several community organizations. Last year, Penn took a group of 10 Hmong students to Australia to research and examine the country's social justice, political, and educational systems and how they affect the Hmong communities, contributing to the high poverty rate. This winter, he took students to Cambodia to participate in building sustainable schools and orphanages. Both trips were part of the Global Connections Project, which organizes humanitarian projects in Southeast Asia. Penn also serves on the board for Global Connections. Congratulations, Penn.
And for the student award, Jove Meza. Jove is a Justice Peace Studies major and a sociology minor. Jove serves as executive director for the Navigate, a group of young immigrants, students creating venues for leadership development for other young people to have access to education, job, and legal status. A founding intern in the summer of 2007. Jove is a leading voice for the immigration reform in Minnesota. He has also been a leader with the Citizen League and Take Action Minnesota. He graduated from St. Paul Arlington High School in 2007 and now currently studying peace and justice studies at Augsburg. Jove is also known as the body president, and he has received multiple awards for his dedication and leadership in this area. And Jove is also currently Augsburg Day student body president. Congratulations, Jove.
Congratulations to all those nominated and to those who received the award. Next, I would like to ask Dr. Sarah Myers to join us on the stage. Dr. Myers is an assistant professor in the Theater Arts Department here at Augsburg. She will introduce our featured guest performers, the Freedom Fellows, from Sunflower County Freedom Project, an organization she worked with in the Mississippi Delta in 2001 and 2002.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you the Freedom Fellows, who are here all the way down south on the Mississippi River in a much warmer part of the country. The Freedom Fellows join us as part of the Sunflower County Freedom Project, an independent nonprofit organization dedicated to educational excellence and leadership development in Sunflower County, Mississippi. Inspired by the freedom schools that were established throughout Mississippi during Freedom Summer in 1964, the Freedom Project uses the history of the 1960s civil rights movement to motivate students to become capable and compassionate leaders in their own communities. Beginning in their first summer, all students are immersed in a curriculum that emphasizes the civil rights movement, and the leaders of the freedom struggle stand as historical models for the students to follow. From reading about the movement, interviewing movement veterans, and visiting movement sites, students learn that to live up to their heritage and make freedom real today, they must take advantage of the opportunities available to them, opportunities won through their ancestors' struggles. Drama is just one of the many programs the organization uses as a tool for exploring these struggles, and that's what the performance is that you'll see today. I will just put in a quick plug. The Sunflower County Freedom Project actually has some wonderful t-shirts for sale in the lobby after the convocation. That said, I'd like to actually briefly explain what my connection to Sunflower County Freedom Project is. After I taught high school in the Mississippi Delta for 2 years, I worked for Sunflower County Freedom Project during the summers of 2001 and 2002, as Kia just explained. I developed this play with them that you will actually see this afternoon. In fact, Chris Perkins, who graduated from Berea College and returned to the Delta last year to become the program director for this organization, and who is actually the director of the play today that you'll see, was in 8th grade the last time I saw him. He actually performed in this play before taking the reins and actually becoming a director of the production. So it's really heartwarming for me to see that. How 5 feet 4 inches forward came to Augsburg is another story. During my first week on campus, I met visiting professor Jeff Kolnick, who's actually here in the audience, I believe. We got to talking about our respective experiences in Mississippi, and he revealed that on one of his many trips down south, he had happened to see a production of this play. I said, well, I sort of wrote that play. And I say sort of because this production isn't mine anymore. It belongs wholly to the wonderful work of the Freedom Fellows, and I will be enjoying it alongside of you for the first time in 80 years. Because this play is about the life of Fannie Lou Hamer and not Dr. King, I'd like to give her a bit of an introduction in light of today's namesake. Henry Kirksey, Mississippi-based civil rights activist and one of Mississippi's first African-American state senators, said, quote, "If Fannie Lou Hamer had had the same opportunities that Martin Luther King had, then we would have had a female Martin Luther King." And yet, I would guess that at least some of you here today don't know much, if anything, about Mrs. Hamer. While the Freedom Fellows will show you a bit more of her life and their performance, she is best known for her efforts in 1964 to organize the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, an alternative to the state's white-controlled Democratic Party. When the MFDP challenged the all-white Mississippi delegation in the 1964 Democratic National Convention, Mrs. Hamer's speech about the violence she and other civil rights activists had suffered while attempting to register to vote was so moving that President Lyndon B. Johnson scheduled a live address at the same time, forcing networks to break away from her impassioned pleas. Mrs. Hamer had been fired by her employer, evicted from her home, threatened with violence, unjustly jailed, severely beaten, and now silenced by the president. All of this because she sought the right to vote. But Fannie Lou Hamer didn't stay silent for long. She devoted her life to the struggles for freedom. Dr. King, who urged the committee to recognize the MFDP, later wrote that her, quote, "testimony educated a nation and brought the political powers to their knees in repentance, for the convention voted never again to seat a delegation that was racially segregated."
They're spiting you yet? When's the last time you combed this nappy mess?
I was combing it.
Fingers ain't fix your nappy head, child.
I know, but I've been sick.
I know, baby.
Mama,
Yes?
thought you were dead and gone.
Dead, yes. But I ain't gone. Shoot, I remember every blessed moment of my life and yours, too. From the day you was born to the day you died.
The day I died.
You remember when you started out in them fields?
What fields?
Cotton fields, child. You was just a little bitty thing. Water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
Whoa there, what's the race?
Nothing.
You see anything over there that tickles your fancy?
No, sir.
What about in here? Looky there. You got fingers fast as lightning, gal. You any good at picking cotton?
Don't really know.
What you mean you don't rightly know?
I ain't never picked none.
Let me see those fingers. You got good long fingers, strong hands. How old are those hands?
How old is me?
And how old is you?
6 years.
Well, I say a girl with 6 years on her back and hand as good as those could bring in 30 pounds of cotton a week. What do you say? Come on, take a look into the bag game. Grab something nice this time. You like gingerbread, gal?
I ain't never tried it.
Take a bite. Now, let's just say I get you a bunch more of those gingerbread cookies, a big old hunk of cheese, some more sardines, and a little Cracker Jack to boot. Do you think you can pick those 30 pounds of cotton in, gal?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead now. Don't let me down. I got faith in those fingers.
Fanny Lou Towns, you picked that biscuit off the road. This ain't no biscuit, Mama. It's a gingerbread. Gingerbread in my foot? You giving me lip, girl? No, ma'am. Where'd you get it from? A white man gave it to me. White man? What white man? He said he'd give me more if I picked me 30 more pounds of cotton. He did he? White folks sure got them some good food, Mama. Now, what I tell you about taking things from strangers? We ain't no beggars. But he gave it to me, Mama. Child, this man tricked you, telling a little bitty baby she can pick cotton for treats. I ain't no baby. He said I got strong hands. Fanny Lou, you got more than strong hands. You got a big heart and a strong mind, too. That land, that cotton, is more worth than a world full of gingerbread. Don't let nobody tell you no different. Yes, ma'am. Now get on them fields. Ain't nobody gonna get that cotton but yourself.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it.
Hush, girl. You gonna rise cows out this swamp with all that racket.
First of all, this ain't no racket. Second of all, you so ready to pay a judgment, I bet you can't sing a lick.
I bet I can.
I bet you can't.
What you in the way?
I ain't got nothing but the skin I walk in.
That'll do. This little light of mine.
Hold up now. This ain't no trick, is it? Because I ain't into selling my skin.
Now look, Fanny Lou.
Hold up, how you know my name?
Girl, everybody knows your name. You Fanny Lou Towns. Your father was the late James Towns. And you stay at home with your mama, Luella Towns. A very independent and outspoken one, much like yourself.
Well, I'm not sure if that's a compliment or an insult.
It's safe to assume. It's a compliment.
And how come you know so much about me and I know so little about you?
You ain't been studying me like I've been studying you.
You been watching me?
Sure.
Why?
Why not?
Stop playing now. What you been watching me for?
You a prettier vision than my tractor.
You drive tractors, huh?
I try.
Well, I guess I know one thing about you. Tractor man. So what's your name?
Perry Hayman, but you can call me Pep. And now you know too.
Well, you can call me Miss Townsend for now, till I find out more about you, Pap.
I'll be calling you Mrs. Hayman by the time I'm done with you.
We'll just see about that.
We will.
Well, I woke up this morning with my mind it was set on Jesus. I woke up this morning with my mind it was set on Jesus.
I woke up this morning with my mind it was set on Jesus. Hallelujah, hallelujah,
Hallelujah,
hallelujah.
hallelujah.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. And when you see that dark cloud rise in the west, brothers and sisters, and when you hear that thunder roll in the sky, are you going to get your laundry and hang it out to dry?
No, Rev.
And when you see that lightning flashing in the sky, are you going to put on your Sunday shoes and set up for a picnic? And why aren't you going to hang out your clothes or put on your Sunday shoes? Because it's been the rain, brother.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
And you can see the signs just like anybody else. And you know the signs ain't saying that the sun's about to shine.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
There's some other signs, brothers and sisters. Some signs that's a little hard to get a handle on. Some signs that have been around so long they don't even seem like signs anymore. These are the signs of the times, brothers and sisters. It's a sign that something just ain't right.
Ain't right.
Let me ask y'all something.
Preach it, brother.
How many of you here own your own land?
Ooh, what you mean,
That's right. How many of you here own your own land?
You mean like boat?
Not a soul. In how many years have we worked this here land? Not just in our lifetime, but since our ancestors saw the first cotton field and burlap sack.
Yes, Lord.
How many years does this here land owe us for cultivating it? So what you gonna do?
Ooh, I don't know. No, tell us, Rev. What you gonna do?
All right, I see we got some confusion on our hands. I met with the SNCC workers, James Freeman, Reginald Robinson, and Bob Moses. We got together and discussed our rights as American citizens and our right to vote.
Excuse me, Reverend. I don't mean no disrespect. I sure ain't no learned woman and all. But when have you ever seen a black man or a black woman vote?
Black people have had the right to vote, believe it or not. During the time of Reconstruction, there was honest to goodness black politicians in the South.
Excuse me again, Reverend, but if we could vote, how come we ain't never knew about it?
Old Peter Piper politician didn't want you to know that you was able to get his buddy, Mr. Charlie, out of office. So he kept the signs hidden from you. He sure didn't want you to know that you could vote a black person in the office.
I ain't never heard of no black politician. All I knew was politician was dirty.
And if you feel that way, you can vote for whomever you choose, someone who isn't dirty.
So, not only I can vote, but you saying I can vote for a black politician?
You sure can.
This is too much for my man to handle.
White man knew as soon as we saw the signs, he'd be fresh out of luck. So he kept them hidden from you. But no more. We're going to show them that we can see the signs of the times just as well as we can see the lightning in the sky. So let me ask you again, brothers and sisters. What are we going to do?
I'm still don't.
I tell you what, we're going to all gather up a bunch of volunteers. We're going to get on that bus. We're going to go down that Indianola County Courthouse, and we're going to register to vote.
Ooh, Lord, I'm not going.
Come on, sisters and brothers. Come on, join in.
You can count me in, Reverend. I've been waiting on signs like this all my life.
Thank you, sister, for your courage.
It ain't courage, brother. It's common sense.
Amen to that.
Well, you see, me and my husband, we've been working for white folks all our lives. We ain't got nothing to show for it. Few pieces of furniture, shoddy old house, and a regular old cot ain't even mine.
Amen, sister. What's your name?
Miss Fannie Lou Hyman.
Well, Mrs. Hyman, your name is the first official name on our list. Come on, everybody, join in.
Join me, y'all.
I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. I ain't gonna let nobody.
Come on, y'all. Ain't gonna let no back of the woods hillbillies turn y'all around now, are you? How the song go? Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Nobody means nobody.
But Fannie Lou, they got guns and dogs
And the women look as nasty and mean as the men.
Now you just listen to me. You don't remember one little bit them sneak folks taught us? Voting is our right as American citizens. And ain't nothing these white folk can do to stop it. That's why they got guns and dogs. They trying to escape. And I, for one, I'm tired of being scared. Now who with me?
You can count me.
I am.
Well, come on then, let's go.
Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around.
What do you want?
We here to register.
Register for what?
To vote.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but this here is the county courthouse, not some family reunion picnic. You come in the county courthouse quietly, not singing songs like you out picking cotton. There will be no commotion in here.
We ain't got plans to start no commotion. We just want to register.
Well, you can't all stand in here at once. I'll take you in pairs. The rest can wait outside until it's your turn.
All right, y'all. Let's go out and in pairs. Here we are, in pairs.
State your full name,
Miss Fannie Lou Heimer,
place of employment,
W.D. Marlowe's Plantation,
location of employment,
Ruleville, Mississippi,
date of birth,
October 6, 1917.
spouse's name.
What's my husband's name got to do with my voting?
Look, now you can either answer the question on the application like everybody else, or you can forfeit your right to register.
And let me see the application then.
This application is confidential.
And how can it be confidential if I'm the one giving all the answers to it?
Come on, Fannie Lou, just get a man the answers.
Look, Fannie Lou, I don't know how y'all act in Ruleville, but this here is Indianola, county seat, and we don't allow no
Mr. Perry Heimer,
spouse's place of employment.
same as mine.
And yours is?
I just told you.
Well, tell me again.
W.D. Marlowe's Plantation in Ruleville.
Today's date.
Don't you know today's date?
The question is whether you know it.
Friday, August 31st, 1962. You best remember it. It's going to be an important day someday.
You ready for your literacy test?
My what?
Didn't your friends back home tell you have to be able to read before you can vote?
Oh, I can read.
Good. This here is Mississippi State Constitution. Your test is to copy verbatim. That means word for word this section of de facto laws and write down what it is you think it all means. Think you can do that?
Don't know until I try.
Can you do it, Fannie Lou?
Shoot, Ernest, I know just about much as a facto law as a horse know about criminal day.
No talking. A test means you work alone.
Now, you just remember this. This one little battle in a big old war, and I ain't got plans to climb it out until I pass.
You better watch your mouth, girl, for you get yourself in some real trouble.
I'm already in some real trouble. I ain't got no plans to climbing out. Can't believe how she was just talking to me. She's supposed to be crazy.
People down there in Illinois.
Don't talk to people like that.
Talking to them folks like she crazy. I ain't never seen nothing like that in all my days. Lord have mercy.
Jesus.
He said all those mean things, and he told me I couldn't read. Did you know that? Yeah, you know I can read. I've been doing math and everything.
I heard every single one of them had to get them addresses. So them playing the white folk can find something easy.
And girl, did you know I had to take a test? Some Declaration of Independence or something.
Shoot, that wasn't no Declaration of Independence. That was some kind of state law or something.
Like Mississippi got state law.
They go fool me.
You said you were behind me, Pep. I asked you before I went ahead, and you told me to go on.
And I'm still behind you, Fannie Lou.
Tell me what Milo said one more time.
I already told you 3 times.
Just tell me one more.
He said, you better go down to that county courthouse and withdraw your application or leave the plantation. He also said that I wasn't supposed to come with you, or he'll take away my job, and we won't have no way to support ourselves.
I just don't know how they got to him so fast.
No white folks got fast cars, baby.
I told him
What did he say?
she's been his timekeeper.
What?
That's what he said. Lord, oh Lord, Fanny Lou's been my timekeeper for some 15 years.
What that supposed to mean?
How am I supposed to know? So tell me about the bus.
Well, they was on their way home on the big yellow bus when the state trooper came up behind them with a handful of local police, flagged them down and ordered them off.
Well, I heard the state trooper, they started up singing. So the state trooper didn't like that too well. So he ordered everybody back on the bus.
That's right. And that state trooper told that old bus driver that he better make his way all the way back to Illinois because he had to pay a fine.
For what?
Because the bus was the wrong color.
See, like the people on the bus was the wrong color.
Got that one, girl. 18 years I've been working here, Pap.
Just short of 19.
I baked cake for him, Pap. When he was overseas in that war, I baked cake for him, and I sent to him on my own dime.
You did more than that. You nursed his kids. You watched his house. You watched over his land, Fanny Lou.
I've been his timekeeper for over 18 years. He ain't gonna manage to pay nobody without me.
The problem is, Fanny Lou, you're expecting this man to have some kind of decency. Just because you did all of that for him, that he's supposed to see past the shades of black and white. He loves you like he loves his dog, Fanny Lou. And I done seen him give old Benson a kick here and there for jumping on the sofa.
Tell her she got two choices, withdraw or leave. Ain't no other God-fearing Christian gonna hire her after that mess she pulled in Indianola, that's for sure.
But not if he's white.
How many black employees you know?
And here's the best part. When they get back to Illinois, that old bus driver tell that state trooper tell that old bus driver that he better pay a $100 fine or spend the night in jail. So all the folks on the bus
Who already in no trouble than me.
I ain't asked you. The folks on the bus, the whatchamacallit,
Yeah.
they go ahead and volunteer to spend the night in jail with the man.
Duh, because they ain't want to leave him behind. And plus, I ain't volunteering none to spend the night in no jail.
No, see, listen, that state trooper get all bent out of shape because he ain't got enough jail cells to hold all them folks, so he decided to change the fine to $30.
Well, look, I don't believe it. Ain't no white man, especially no state trooper, go give in to no black bloke.
You tell him.
I told.
He tell you.
Yes, sir, he told me.
I mean that. Go back and withdraw your registration or leave.
He told me.
That type of stuff don't go on down here, Fanny Lou. That type of stuff goes on in Chicago or somewhere, but not down here.
But
we ain't gonna have none of it.
Mr. D.
That's all right. I'll give you the first thing tomorrow morning. You know, we treat you pretty good, Fanny Lou. Here you have a nice place with furniture and everything. Pep drives my tractor, you been my timekeeper for Lord knows how long. They gonna wear me. They gonna wear me something off.
But Mr. D.
That's all right. I'll give you the first thing tomorrow morning. I don't want to hear anything else about it.
Mr. D.
What's trying to say, Fanny Lou?
I'm trying to say I didn't go down to that courthouse for you. I went down there for me to register to vote. This has nothing to do with you.
It's got everything to do with me. 18 years you been here.
What are you talking about?
Things have been brewing for a while. What with them schools in Arkansas and that Till boy way back?
Ain't nothing brewing in Sunflower County, Mississippi. As long as we got things under control. You got that off those applications.
Each and every night.
Lordy, Lordy, Lord. I don't know what we gonna do.
Times has changed.
If they do, I'm locking up my windows, my doors, everything. If you think them white folks ain't going down without no fight.
It's sure enough gonna be a fight. We're gonna get what's right ours.
Oh, tell you the truth. I don't want no vote.
That sure was the start of it.
Mama,
Yes?
where have you been, Mama?
Right here this whole time.
I must have fallen asleep.
You did.
I was dreaming about that time me and Pap got kicked off the plantation. We lost just about everything we had. All the while, them white folks just terrorizing us, and I still didn't pass the first literacy test.
But you went back, family, and you passed the second one.
How you know that, Mama? You passed way long before then.
And you met all those people from SNCC so vibrant and excited about black folks in Mississippi.
In fact, dead now, Mama. Ain't you? But you seem so alive.
And then it was Winona,
Why no?
and everything changed.
Mr. Chairman and the Credentials Committee, my name is Miss Fannie Lou Hamer. I've lived at 626 Lafayette Street, Ruleville, Mississippi, at Senator Steiner's and Senator James O. Eastland's home. I was on my way home from a voter's registration workshop to Mississippi. We were traveling by Continental Trailway bus. When we got to Winona, Mississippi, 4 people got off the bus to use the restaurant. I saw when they began to order 40 people out the restaurant. I stepped off the bus to see what was happening, and I heard someone scream,
Get that one there.
I was under arrest. He kicked me. I was carried to the county jail and placed in a cell with a young woman named Miss Sylvester Simpson. I began to hear sounds of licks and horrible screams. I could hear sounds of licks and screams. I could hear someone say,
You're under arrest. Can you say yes, sir, nigga? Can you say yes, sir?
Yes, I can say you yes. Yes, I can say yes, sir.
So say it.
I don't know you well enough.
I could hear sounds of screams. They beat her. I don't know for how long. I began to hear her pray and ask God to have mercy on those people.
Sweet Lord in heaven, have mercy on these souls of these men who beat me. For no matter how hard they hit my body, Lord, they cannot touch my soul. For their souls, Lord, their souls are in danger of eternal damnation. Please have mercy on them, Lord. Have mercy on their souls. They have a sickness, Lord. A sickness that poisons their mind and possesses their spirit. Forgive them, Lord. Forgive them for their sin. They know not what they do.
It wasn't too long before they came in the cell after me. I was carried to a cell and placed in a cell with 2 Negro prisoners. The highway patrolman ordered the first Negro to take the blackjack. The first nigga began to beat me. He beat me until he was exhausted. So the highway patrolman ordered the second Negro to take the blackjack. So I began to work my feet. And the highway patrolman, he ordered the first Negro to hold my feet down. So I began to scream. And the white man, he walked over and he hit me in the head. He told me to hush. My dress had begun to work its way up. The white man, he pulled it down, but he pulled it back up again. I was in jail when Megan Edwards was murdered. All of this on account of we want to register, become first-class citizens. If the Freedom Democratic Party isn't seated now, then I question America. Is this the land of the free, the home of the brave, where we have to sleep with our telephones off the hook because we want to live like decent human beings in America? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an important decision before us today, an invitation to history. Thanks to the heartfelt testimony of Ms. Van Luheimer and Ms. Rita Swarner, we all got the opportunity to hear the voices of oppressed Mississippians on a televised podcast for the first time in history. We have made dramatic gains for the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party and for the Mississippians back home that weren't able to be here on today. After a number of negotiations and discussions, we have been offered 2 seats at large in the convention, and we've been promised stricter guidelines for the 1968 delegates. Now, I know compromising for 2 seats may be against our deepest convictions, and 2 seats may not seem like much, but 2 seats are nothing compared to the goal of unseating the racialists and the segregationists back home that oppress our people. Let me ask you this, ladies and gentlemen. How many seats do we have now? And how many seats did we have before we came here? The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is none. And how many seats will we have if we walk away from that compromise? The answer again, ladies and gentlemen, is none. What will we gain if we walk away from the only hope that we have? Yes, 2 seats are much, and they're small, but they're a start, a seed, a way to get our foot into the door.
Dr. Henry, I've told you once and I tell you again, we didn't come all this way for no 2 seats. What's 2 seats gonna get the people of Mississippi? It ain't gonna put no food on nobody's table. It ain't gonna stop innocent women from getting sterilized against their will. And it sure ain't gonna stop us getting beat from existence for our basic human right to vote.
Now, Mrs. Heimer, you know I respect your opinion more than anyone, but I truly believe it would do the greatest disservice to the people of Mississippi if we walk away from that compromise. Instead of nothing, we give them something.
We give them a sense of pride, Dr. Henry. We let them know that they're worth more than 2 measly votes. We teach them to stick to their principles and have faith in themselves.
Well, Mrs. Heimer, at least compromise for something. Half the votes, 24 instead. Mrs. Heimer, we're going to make the MFDP look pig-headed if we walk away from that compromise.
Why compromise for 24 votes when you know good and well we won't give but 2? I tell you what, Dr. Henry, you go in that convention hall and you even mention the word compromise, you best stay in there and balance out the rest of your life. Because if you come out, I will cut your throat.
2 seats, that ain't nothing.
Stop, all right. Mrs. Heimer, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. I promise you. No compromise.
We didn't come all this way for no 2 seats.
Paul and Silas bound in jail, had no money for to pay their bill. Keep your eyes on the prize.
This fall, Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer and other SNCC delegates toured West Africa and had the opportunity to meet with Soke Toure, president of Guinea. After a crushing defeat for her party, Mrs. Hamer has found encouragement in her new surroundings.
Being from the South, we were never taught much about our African heritage. The way everybody talked to us, everybody in Africa was savages and really stupid people. One thing I looked at so much were the African women. They were so graceful and so poised, with their headdresses and the way they carried their water. My mother would do the same thing. She could put something on her head, have 2 pails in her hand, and walk for miles and wouldn't drop it.
The ever controversial so-called Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party continues to make bids to Northern supporters for its fairness resolution. After the defeat in the 1964 Democratic Convention, Mrs. Hamer has found new encouragement.
No person claiming contest a seat shall be allowed to take the oath until this contest of challenge has been decided by the House. The rights of blacks in Mississippi in the 14th and 15th Amendment are being violated daily. The current representatives are not being elected by all people. All people include the black. Mississippi made some promises to this country way back after the Civil War, and she haven't kept those promises yet.
As you all know by now, 3 SNCC workers, Andrew Goodman, Mickey Swerner, and James Shannon, were brutally murdered in this here state because they were fighting for the simple cause that we're fighting for, this thing called freedom. What's more terrible is the law enforcement. They don't do anything to stop it. They contribute to the problem, and sometimes they even cause it. How can we expect change in Mississippi if our own government is against us? I beg you, friends, help us elect a new government, a just government, a government that governs all people, not just the white, not just the rich, but all people. Help us get rid of the racist congressmen who run their backs and turn their backs on Negroes of Mississippi and stand by 3 young innocent men that were killed. If you are truly a friend of SNCC, if you truly believe in justice, do all you can. Get your congressmen and congresswomen and support the fairness resolution and having the racists unseated.
Yours for freedom, Fannie Lou Hamer, Member of Congress, 2nd District of Mississippi.
In a 228 to 143 vote today, the House dismissed the fairness resolution, challenge posed by the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. Do you have any reflections on what took place on the House floor today, Mrs. Hamer?
I'm one of the blacks in Mississippi. My grandmother was a slave, and with God's help, without violence, I make sure that the Constitution becomes more than just a sheet of paper.
How much are you willing to risk to make the Constitution more than a piece of paper, as you call it? Are you willing to sacrifice everything?
Well, it seems to leave the house nowadays is to run the risk of being killed. But if I fall, I'll fall 5 feet 4 inches forward and fight for freedom. No one will have to cover the ground I walk on as far as freedom is concerned.
Do you have any advice for the young activists of today?
This is not Mississippi's problem. This is America's problem. Our mother's been sick. She's been sick for a long time. Her whole life, in fact. That doesn't mean she can't get well.
Isn't it true, Mrs. Hamer, that you have taken ill lately yourself?
I haven't taken nothing. Me and my health might wrestle for a little while. I managed to come out on top every time.
Thank you, Mrs. Hamer.
Now you know that's a story.
Mama.
Yes, babe?
I'm just so tired, Mama.
I know, baby. You remember Ephesians chapter 6, 11 and 12 verse? You gotta put on the whole armor of God. so that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's the battle, baby. That's a big battle for one woman, no matter how stubborn she be.
You proud of me, Mama?
Ain't no person more proud than you than I am, except probably your grandmama, or her mama, or all the mamas, all the way back before Africa was even born.
Africa. Mama, did I tell you I went to Africa? The women over there, they remind me so much. No, I was talking to Mama. I was telling I was.
You been dreaming again, baby.
Shoot, Pap, I guess so.
And what did old Luella say this time?
She was quoting scripture again. You know the one I like about the whole arm of God.
That's a good one.
She said she was proud of me, Pap. Her and all the mamas, all the way back to the very first one.
Baby, I want you to get some rest.
I ain't got time, Pap.
Rest don't require no time. Rest just is. And you don't need to make time for something that just is.
Now, I sure you do love you, Pap, but sometimes you make about as much sense as a picnic in Ironstone. Talk about just is. I just is. You just is. We got to make time for things, Pap. Even people.
We haven't had time for you and me since the day you got on that bus for Illinois.
So you wish I hadn't done it?
No, Fanny Lou. You were born to be the woman you became today. And you wouldn't have gotten there if it weren't for that kind of Kirk fella down in Illinois. He was the first one who really tried to try you, Fanny Lou. And he failed. Just like every other living soul has failed.
I always treat you like the man, though, haven't I, Pap? I asked you before I just jump right into things.
So you're saying that if I would have said, no, Mrs. Fanny Lou Haynes, you can't take that train trip today, or risk your life one more time, you would have said, okay, Pap, you're right.
You wouldn't have said those things.
And what if I did?
Well, you probably would have had a good reason, so I would have done.
You sure?
Mostly.
Then don't do it, Fanny Lou.
Don't do what, Pap?
Whatever you gonna do again? Another train trip? Another run for office? Stay at home and let old Pap take care of you. These dreams you've been having, baby, they've been wearing me something off. And this country hasn't gave you nothing but heartaches. They have taken their fair share of you. Stay at home. It's my turn now. I'm the man, like you said. And I say, stay at home.
This whole thing, it's just gotten too big now, Pap. I can't stop now. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. More than 5,000 families in Sunflower County live below the poverty line. That means they make less than $6,000. That means they make less than $2,000 a year. 6 to 8% of Sunflower County residents make less than $1,000 a year. And how is a person supposed to feed, clothe, and shelter their family on less than $1,000 a year? That's pitiful. No, it's worse than pitiful. It's a crying shame. Our kids, they need food, clothing, shelter, and a good education. So I founded the Freedom Farm Corporation. The FCC will help these kids. The first program is the piggy bank. We will give each needy family a pregnant sow until she gives birth, and then they will return it back to the farm.
Dear Ms. Hyman, I am a socialist now, a Democrat, and I am writing to you all the way from Massachusetts, where I read a recent article about your work in Mississippi. I am also a poet. I have to tell you that your recent move towards creating a farm co-op is nothing less than poetic.
The second program involves farming. We will give nutritious food to the needy families, such as corn and soybeans. We will use sweet potato and cotton as revenue.
Dear Mrs. Cotton, my name is David Cotton, and I'm writing to you from Berkeley, California. Without help proves to be great news for you and the Freedom Farm Corporation. A client of mine has recently passed away, and in his official will, he has beneficial of his considerable assets.
The third program, it will give needy families housing. We will give $38 to $100 range of mortgages. We will also provide gas and electricity services and make sure that the homes have proper sewage and water lining.
To the producers of the Dave Frost Show, I saw your program the other day and was touched by the Freedom Farm lady. The enclosed check is for Fanny. I didn't hear her last name. From Mississippi. I wish it was 10 times greater. She's obviously great in many ways. Her sincerity and courage leaves us embarrassed.
We will also provide scholarships for our students who are pursuing their college degrees and vocational training, because without education, Mississippi will have no process.
Dearest Mrs. Hyman, I seen you on the Phil Donahue show. I'm writing this note to let you know that I think you are a wonderful person. I admire your courage greatly and everything that you are doing to make the lives of Mississippians better.
We will also provide help in times of crises, like a natural disaster, as in a tornado, or family emergencies, like an immediate death.
I am a retired San Francisco longshore woman. I have lived on a pension of Social Security. I should also say that I am a white woman. I believe in the fight for our human values, because without this, we are living in the jungle. I'm sorry to say that I don't have much to donate to your program, and I wish I could do more. But I plan to send $5 every month. Yours truly, Felicia W. Bassett. P.S. If you don't mind, I would appreciate it if you send me 6 envelopes so I can afford to send you my payment for each 6 months.
We must feed people, because hunger is the enemy. Land is food, and food feeds people. Most people don't have land, jobs, and no way to provide for themselves, and this program will help them. I will not rest until the hungry of Mississippi are fed. To those in rags have clothes. To those with no shelter have decent roof over their head. This struggle will not end until we are all economically self-sufficient. We all in this together now. I guess I'm in deeper than most. But if I have to whoop every nervous Nellie and Uncle Tom for them to help their own people, then so be it. So be it, I will. I ran for office, and I'll do it again. I'll do it until the day I die for that fact. This is my land, my home, and my body's taking an awful beating. but I'm alive, and I'm here. I'm here to stay. For all those children out there, for all those little Joe Ethers out there trying to escape a bullet. Mama, where are you?
Right here, baby.
I'm so tired, Mama.
I know. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Want me to play in your hair?
Was it worth it, Mama?
What was what worth?
All of it. My life. It seemed like I did so much and gained so little. Black folks still poor. Mississippi still backwards. I never won the office every time I ran.
You ain't God, Fanny Lou.
I ain't say I was. I just wish I had did something. I didn't do anything. I failed just like I said. 5 feet, 4 inches. Just not quite sure if I fell forward.
Listen to me now, baby. I would have loved you if you didn't amount to dirt. But you just ain't my daughter, Fanny Lou. You the daughter of Mississippi. Change this place. And all the kids of the day got you to thank for the new freedoms that they got. With every passing day and every passing year, we get a few inches closer. Now come on, baby. We gotta go.
Let's give him another round of applause. This now brings us to the close of conclusion of our program. It's always fitting to give thanks to God, thanks to Lord, and those who have put this many hours to make this event a success. Thank you to the MLK Planning Committee. MLK Planning Committee, please stand and be recognized. The Convocation Series Committee, President Prebnow and his office, they're not here. Dean Barbara Farley, the Office of Marketing and Communication, Office of the Public Safety, Events, the Sunflower County Freedom Project, and the City Songs. And now special thanks goes to Event Service, Leslie Larson, Campus Ministry, Pan-African Student Union, and all the faculty and staff that made this come together. And of course, all of you for being here today. Our program now will close with Pastor Kelly Chapman for the benediction and another musical selection from City Songs.
As we prepare to go back to our homes, our places of work and play, I invite you into this picture. It's a picture of the election of Barack Obama, an African-American president of the United States. I want to invite you to remember what that moment was like when we overcame all of those doubts, all of those ways that we thought that America could not achieve such a moment of electing an African American president. I invite you to remember the tears. I invite you to remember that moment, that clarion moment in the lives of our nation and our world. My name is Pastor Kelly Chapman, and I am a member of the campus ministry team and pastor at Redeemer Lutheran Church in North Minneapolis. When I sat down this afternoon, someone asked me, what is the takeaway of this day? What's the takeaway of the gathering at the convention center at the breakfast? What's the takeaway from Central High School in the march? What's the takeaway of the governor's celebration at Concordia? What's the takeaway from our afternoon gathering today with this wonderful presentation? The takeaway is, yes, we can. Yes, we can be a people gathered across race and culture and class and religion to be that picture of that beloved community that Dr. Martin Luther King talked about. Yes, we can be that call to vocation of a 9-year-old girl who walked to be before a senator because she had a sense of a call to serve. Yes, we can be a celebration of 25 years of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. Yes, we can be a celebration here at Augsburg where 40% of an enrolling class are from a diverse background. And remember that as we claim, yes, we can, there are those with voices that say, no, you can't. And so our calling as we leave here is to not allow ourselves to internalize that voice and allow it to become, no, we can't. And so we carry this voice with us of, yes, we can. We can eliminate the gap in our education. Yes, we can put an end to war. Yes, we can bring our commitment to experience and to celebrate a vision of God's kingdom, a beloved community where all of the people of God are celebrated and lifted up. Yes, we can. May this be our voice in the work that we celebrate and that we do as we go forth from this place. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can be God's beloved community. Go forth and celebrate this in our lives. Amen.
Of what he'll be when he grows up, when he becomes a man. He watches the injustice, he sees it every day. He dreams and one day he will make a stand. So he prays and he ponders. In the night he lies and wonders, will his dreams one day become reality? He says, I will work for justice, I will stand for peace, I'm gonna fight to bring equality. I will work for justice, I will stand for peace, I'm gonna live to set my people free. A woman gets on the bus, there's no place left to sit. She takes the only seat that's left to take. And with a simple act, that's been enough for her
We just want to thank you again for being here, and there will be refreshments in the atrium. Thank you.